I'm here. Let's talk about April 8th, 2024 and the solar eclipse in Aries. And I know you're like, not another solar eclipse video, but let me watch yours, Elizabeth. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into the symptoms that might come up in your body as you navigate the energy of the solar eclipse. Now, if you're looking for an overall Ascension Symptoms message for April 2024, I have one already posted. I'll try to put the card here so that you can check it out. So this is massive. And we are just living in big, bold times because this is almost the, how would you say it? It's like all the work that you've put in over time is kind of coming to a head. It's all working now to create that which you have long held dear in your heart. So when we think about Ascension symptoms related to the solar eclipse, I want you to think, because this is what I heard, 2 days prior and 3 days after. Okay, so 2 days before the solar eclipse and 3 days after the solar eclipse, this energy and these Ascension symptoms are likely to pop up. Now, there is also a message that is critical to breaking the curse of the mother that I want you to stay for. So watch the symptoms that are likely to pop up in your body and then take some time to look at what's coming up, read the curse of the mother and how that is impacting you in a profound way as a soul. Okay. So let's say this off the bat, that you may be feeling really exhausted. And, I talked about in the April 2024 message that there would be a lot of pressure psychologically, emotionally, and less pressure physically. And so a lot of you right now may be feeling so tired because there is so much chatter that is going on in the airwaves, and there's so much movement in the energy. It is so strong that you can't quite shake the impact that it's having on you as a being, a human being, and on your energy field. And so you may find that you're needing to rest more. But you know what? Coupled with that, I find there is a bit of sleepiness and then a bit of insomnia. And I don't know about you, where I am, the pollen, the allergens have been off the chain. And so you may also be feeling like totally drugged up because you are having to take all this medicine. I know for a lot of us, it has never been this bad, or it hasn't been this bad in a really long time. And like for me, I've been having to keep my hair out of my face because otherwise I'd be washing my hair every day based on this pollen. And so maybe you're like, I'm not really even into like allergies like that. Don't you know that a lot of people I've talked with who are not normally sensitive to the seasonal allergies are having slight symptoms at this time. And so we know that there is a lot that's going on behind the scenes. And so, like I'm saying, you may be feeling like a little bit kind of out of it because you're already having to stay medicated. What I'm also hearing is that many of you are having old injuries return, old pain points that you had in the body. But what I'm hearing is don't be dismayed by it. And if you allow yourself to just acknowledge that this is where you are, that this is happening, you're going to find that you already have the tools to work through it. It's like some of the aches and pains that are coming up again, you're like, oh, I know what to do to resolve this. Or I know what to do to be able to handle this as I get back to a place of healing. Maybe you're looking at the things that you did the week before and you're like, goodness, I never had enough water, and that's why this came back. Or I had this heavy food, or I exposed myself to this thing that my body doesn't quite like to tolerate. And so now I know I need to shift again. So those old pain points and old injuries may be coming back up for you to take care of them again. So I feel like those are the main things. Oh, before I forget, the dreams. The dream space is very active, and some of you are like, I don't ever remember my dreams, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not dreaming, but there's a lot of things that are coming up, and I find some of them are not quite related to you. It's almost as though you are showing up in other people's dream time, helping them with something. It feels like there are some people who want to close certain loops that they've been in for a long time, and because you've gotten to a place of mastery, then you are being sought out to help them with that. And so in your dream space, you're finding that you're showing up with these other people who you may know in your current reality or may not, and you're helping them in some way. You're the one with the answer to the issue that they've been having. You're the one who can support them as they make the change. What I love about this is you're not showing up trying to convince someone that they need help. It's like you're showing up because they've acknowledged that they need help and they are ready for change. So that's happening. And then coupled with that, I feel like many of you are having the dream space active because you're getting a lot of downloads about your mission, your next steps in the world, the next expression of you. I also feel like many of you are going through this time of like visioning, like life visioning is, I think, what Michael Beckwith calls it. But it's like really allowing yourself not just to envision how your life will be, but to really create things around the unfolding of that same life. And it's like, who am I as this person with all this stuff? Or who am I as this person with my health again? And then how can I show up that way? And I feel like some of you are using like the time right before bed to imagine that, to go through that in your mind so that you're falling asleep with that as your focus and doing the work energetically in the unseen realm as your conscious mind goes to bed. Okay, so I feel like that's the biggest thing to watch for: the insomnia or the really tired feeling and needing to sleep a lot. Maybe your sleep being interrupted a lot because of the dream space, or because you're dealing with a cold or runny nose, allergies, all those kinds of things, headaches, and pain points that have returned that were old injuries. So it's just about kind of navigating them from the experience and the knowing that you have about how to handle them, and to not allow yourself to be overwhelmed and overcome by everything that's going on around you and everything that may be projected towards you. Okay, let's talk about this curse of the mother that is broken with this solar eclipse energy on April 8th. I want to call this like the soul being re-imaged. I work in a healthcare environment, but I also am around a lot of technical people. And when there is an issue with a workstation, a computer, then what they try to do when all else fails is to re-image it. It's like to go back and put things on like you're building it from scratch. And so the soul at this time is being re-imaged. And you may be thinking, well, why am I being built from scratch? This makes total sense because I'm hearing this and processing it too. And, take a look at the video that talked about letting them leave, like releasing the dying, because the divine keeps saying, as you enter this new game or this new level of the game, or like Shakespeare says, this new act in your life, allow yourself to be new. Allow yourself to be new, though you've had certain experiences before. So it's like release the pain, the shame, and take the lessons, and then create a new version of you that has those lessons built in, so that you can move forward with the know-how, but without the shame and the pain of the past. And so, how is this related to the mother? I'm feeling like the mother bloodline is in focus here. And I feel like it's in focus because this is the energy of the birthing, right? And there is this sense that a lot, like I'm seeing someone say, reach. And when you're running a relay and you have to reach and you grab the baton and then you run your leg of the race, like literally that's how this is coming across to me. Like when you were born, you did reach and you took everything that was given to you, everything imprinted in your soul from the mother's bloodline. Not that the father's bloodline didn't bring templates, but we're talking about the mother. And I feel like we're talking about the mother because it's as though the earth is purging itself in a way where it's saying, hey, let's write something new. Let's create something new. And this makes sense for New Earth, right? Where the foundation that Earth is being built on and that, things are being established on are new and different, and with another kind of energy and vibration and frequency. So there are things that you can think about right now that were handed down to you from your mother's bloodline. And maybe you can see them. Maybe it was the idea that you had to be, a housewife. You had to wait on him hand and foot and your dreams didn't matter. Maybe it was that you had to be, everybody wants to have children and the white picket fence, and maybe you got the same templates. And so all you wanted to do was to be a mom, but you're realizing now, but wait, that wasn't my only dream, that there are other things that I desire too. Maybe you're looking at what you've gotten from the mother and you're looking at failed relationships, or you're looking at, playing small and being stuck and not having a voice, or staying quiet for too long, or toxic relationships with friends and family. You're just looking at all the things that you are seeing being handed down from your mother's womb. And I hear the divine saying, for many of you who are mothers yourself, you were working this. You were working this template. You were trying to find yourself. You were trying to create something new. You were trying to transmute the energies. You were working at releasing yourself from the things that followed you, that were handed down to you, that don't serve you. I'm hearing there's a small section of you who chose not to have children because you didn't want to give to anyone the things that you felt were weighing you down, that you got from your own bloodline and from your own mother. For some of you, you didn't grow up with your father being prominent in the home, and so it felt like it was three of you, the mom and the two kids. And so there is just this sense that you wanted, for those of you who have children, you wanted to give them something new, to give them a new template to work with as you sent them out into the world. And for ones who didn't have children, you chose not to because things were so all over the place. You saw your mom struggle so much that you never wanted to put children of your own in that kind of path too. And some of you, you're going to find that as you are released from the curse of the mother, you are finding that suddenly you have an interest in bearing children. And for those of you who are past childbearing age, it's like suddenly there are children popping up in your world, and they don't have to be small children. They can be adults, right? And it's like you're wanting to mentor them, you're wanting to guide them, you're wanting to support them, almost like being a mother for them. Okay. And what I'm hearing, that because the curse has been broken, all the work that you've done has come to this peak, that now when you pass the baton to your children, to those you are mothering, the template is new. The template is clear because you've done your work and now they can do their work. And because now things have been released, the chains that were holding you bound had been released, now your children get to choose any path that they desire. They get to choose any path that they desire, and they get to see the fruit of their own labor create something new. And so, they've been saying for a while that a lot of the children being born now, like the virus babies, that they are born so aware. But I want to go further. A lot of the children who are coming in, they're not born with a lot of the karmic things to work through. In fact, they're born with more dharma in their soul blueprint. But I'm also hearing that because you've done the work, and now the curse is broken, you're not giving the same old template to your children, they now also get to experience the dharma, the fruit of your labor, and they get to write a brand new template for themselves and then for their offspring. And so the curse of the mother is broken. I'm also feeling this in many ways. There are some mothers who were silenced, who were slighted, who were sidelined. I feel like this is not just like individual, it's societal too. It's societal. It's like the ways society crafted this idea of the mother. And there are some people who might say the matrix mother, because they're just creating people who were going to go through the world imbalanced, unstable, serving the man, if you will. But now, as the curse is broken, all these lives get to matter. All the children who are born from the ascended mothers get to have a new timeline, a new template, and so many new opportunities for their own lives. They get to create their own stories and are not hinging, their whole lives aren't hinging on the story of the mother's bloodline. And so over the next few days, you may desire to do a kind of bloodline clearing, to release yourself from the things that you think hadn't been serving you, that were handed down to you. Many of us can say that even in the womb, we could feel the pain of our mothers. We could hear them cry. We knew how they felt even about giving birth. And though they may have loved us after birth, we know what they suffered as they carried us. And so it's like all of that is being removed. That burden that we were bearing of not being sure if we were wanted, not being sure if we added to this person's life in a positive way, or if we were the very thing that caused them to wallow in self-pity and to hide from their own lives. It's like all of that gets broken. The curse is broken, and the soul gets to be re-imaged, but this time not with the old, not all of them. And this is why I keep saying, you keep the lessons from the old experiences, but you emerge someone new, because you write a story of a new you who already knows everything that you had learned. And so your reference point is now versus back then. I hope this serves you. I'm sending you so much love. I would love it if you would comment below. Let me know what you're thinking, how this energy is showing up for you. I will talk to you again soon in another video. Bye for now.